Welcome back to MK Ultra News. Today we have the pleasure of talking to the internet's favorite pocket-sized victim, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Welcome.
That's how I'm introduced?
Oh, wow, I didn't realize you still needed the oxygen mask.
Oh, sorry. Old habits die hard.
Gypsy, you experienced a nightmare of a childhood. The fake cancer, the wheelchair, those horrible Cabbage Patch Kid outfits. And then you got sent to jail after you got that kind of autistic online boyfriend of yours to go all Michael Myers on your beanbag chair of a mom. How does it feel to finally be free?
I'm just really grateful to have my life back. People online have been weirdly supportive. They've been teaching me about all the slang that I've missed. So I now know what gyat, punani, and double cheeked up mean. I get the last one in my comment section a lot.
Oh, okay, so the demos on your socials skew mostly black then. Nothing. What was it like surviving jail?
'Cause you're tiny.
You're like the size of a little Zanny. I'm assuming it's because of all those weird cancer pills that your mom forced down your throat. So tell me, did you have to become someone's
No, but I was very graciously taken under the wing of what I think was a Latina gang. They nicknamed me Blanquita, so I've gelled down a lot of baby hairs the past 8 years.
Oh, well, ole. I can say that, okay? I have many Latini ex employees. Let's talk relationships. Were you just getting like tons of mysteriously stained love letters in jail? I mean, I know that I get a lot of letters from men in the system because this network plays in a lot of high security prisons as a subtle form of torture. But I can only imagine how nice it must have felt to suddenly be getting all of this male attention, considering how deeply and disturbingly sexually repressed you were growing up. Right? Like we all saw those cosplay photos.
I don't really feel comfortable being defined by my past.
No, of course not. This is entertainment news. We would never exploit a tragedy like that. I only bring up the jail letters because that is how you met your larger-than-life husband, right? Do you think that the marriage works because you prioritized personality over looks?
Well, that's a very backhanded thing to say.
Okay, I am sorry. I have a neurological condition that comes with growing up in Beverly Hills. I literally cannot feel empathy for anyone who I think is ugly. So,
look, I've survived a lot in my life, and I've made it through. I served my time for what I did, and now I'm gonna live my best life. So you and every other hater that has something negative to say about me or my surfboard can respectfully choke.
oh,
Now that I've gotten my nails done, hair did, I'm gonna go shake my ass on a yacht while my man records me. Then he's going to bang my head against our headboard until I start speaking tongues. While you bitches are settling for 5 minutes of mediocre action with a broke man on a leaking waterbed swimming in a sea of eviction notices. BT dubs, the D is fire, and all that matters is that I'm happy.
okay, so like what are we talking, like dimension-wise?
Baby arm.
Work. That's all the time that we have today. Thank you, Gypsy, for talking to us.
Thank you.
Join me tomorrow when I interview the tapeworm that snatched Oprah's body. And what I can only describe as the last highlight of the previous year, Miss Gypsy Rose Blanchard, or should I say Mrs. Gypsy Rose Blanchard, has been released from prison after serving 8 out of her 10-year sentence for her part in unaliving her mother and most Midwestern-looking woman on planet Earth, Dee Dee. I'm not going to go into the gritty details of what this woman subjected her daughter to. There are plenty of videos, documentaries, even makeup tutorials, and mukbangs that delve deeper into that horror story. The way we as a species innovate new ways to spread information is astonishing. What does fascinate me about this story is the sort of apolitical jubilation with which the internet is celebrating her release. Rarely does an event bring together people from across the political spectrum. I'm talking everyone from tanky neo-pronoun catgirls to boomers patiently waiting for that sweet, sweet cue drop of the day. United in celebration, popping bottles, shaking ass. Not since the Epstein unaliving debacle have I seen the entire internet join forces like this. Speaking of which, tell me down below if you want to see me release a video video where I play a game of hot or not with all the people mentioned on Miss Jeffrey's newly released list that was documenting all the individuals that were going on his private jet and visiting his Geneva Conventions violating island. You know I'm messy enough to do it. Now, I hope that Miss Gypsy can just sort of live the rest of her life in peace. However, as someone who has what medical professionals call internet brain rot, I know how stories like this, which are uniquely feel-good but also deeply horrifying and controversial, evolve or devolve. Because if the internet has taught me anything, it's that we cannot have nice things. Here is my theory of how this saga will continue. I am not hoping that this happens. I just have a feeling that these are the events that will follow. Let's begin with the current stage, phase 1. Enthusiastic, bordering on, frankly, bizarre support.
Listen, this is for my homegirl, Gypsy Rose. Come to New York, okay? We got you. We're gonna be popping bottles, doing the motherfucking bachata. You can even bring your white with the fire D with you too. We're gonna show you a good ass time. Matter of fact, we're gonna bring out a cake in the shape of your mother. Gonna give you a big meat cleaver so that this time you can be the one to chop that fat up. Okay, that might have been a little bit too far. However, the office still stands, okay? Come to New York!
Okay, so like, can we just talk about how adorable Gypsy Rose is? Hair done, nails French tipped, managed to snag a man while she was literally still in prison. I can't even get my situationship to change my contact name from scammer likely. I just can't. Regardless, Miss Gypsy, you better work. That's how the gays say it, right?
Phase 2. People start getting a little messy.
Okay, so like, is it just me, or does Gypsy Rose's new husband kind of look like her dead mom? Like, I can't be the only one who sees it. This might as well just be him in a little wiglet. Like, dead ass. I'm not even like trying to be offensive or anything. I just feel like Freud is rolling over in his grave because you just keep proving him right.
Phase 3. The discourse begins.
Bruh, like, I'm not gonna lie. No shade to Miss Gypsy, okay? Because this is targeted more at like the public. But the way y'all love to see people, and like women specifically, relive their trauma is crazy to me. Like, the way I've seen comments talking about like, oh, do a get ready with me where you dress up like how you used to look, like wheelchair, oxygen mask and everything. Like, huh? I mean, like, she'd probably eat that up, don't get me wrong, but the way y'all will like never let this woman rest.
Under capitalism, victims of extreme and unique forms of abuse are encouraged and rewarded for repackaging their trauma into inspirational tell-all memoirs, knowing that realistically, this is the only means by which they can fund a new and comfortable life. We, the public, under the guise of support, are only really interested in the spectacle of human suffering, no longer burdened by the guilt and unsettling ethics of something like true crime. Since this time around, it is the surviving victim that offers their tragic story to us. But unlike the many women who came before her who were unfortunate enough to not have survived their ordeal, Gypsy is able to monetize her past and is granted something that most victims are never afforded: some agency. Phase 4. The contrarians/conspirators come out of the woodworks.
Okay, so are we just going to ignore the fact that Gypsy Rose's new husband was once in a photo with a man who looks like he might be wearing a MAGA hat? See, this is why you do not hype up random white people. And something tells me that Gypsy might have a few MAGA hats in her closet. I'll be the first one to ask, was she posting black squares on Insta in 2020? Wait, no, she was in jail.
Hi, y'all. Today I'm going to be talking about the theory that Gypsy Rose Blanchard is actually a man. Okay, look at the bone structure, all right? This is clearly male-coded, and I would know because I am an expert in bones. I got my degree in bones from DeVry, printed out the certificate and everything. Now she, or should I say he, was raised trans by his sick mother and now is continuing the lie because Gypsy is part of the... Now, you know I can't say that word because I'm gonna get demonetized. More like demonized. He is now part of the celebrity elite who are all secretly trans. You sheeple need to wake up.
Phase 5. The discourse turns rancid, aka disturbingly confident people shouting the worst hot takes you have ever heard.
Okay, so I just feel like Rose Blanchard should change her last name from because it is a pejorative against the Romani people. I'm personally not Romani myself, but I just feel like she should legally change her name to something more appropriate to her whiteness. Like maybe Gurney or Gelato, and if she chooses not to do that, then we know where she stands when it comes to supporting marginalized and oppressed peoples.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. You always do. Females be hyping up the most mid-ass people. Facts. Like this, like Gypsy Rose person, right? I get it, okay, your mom ruined your childhood, that sucks, yeah, sure, whatever. But stop trying to convince this female that she is a baddie. Okay, like normally I am a doormat, but I feel like you're just being mean. Like she didn't even do anything. See, this is why I don't like talking to you females about anything. Y'all get so emotional. All that I'm saying is that she is not a baddie, okay? Stop calling her that, because you're gonna make her delusional. I just feel like this is a really weird hill to die on. No, for real though. Like my parents used to lock me in dog cages when I was a kid. Where are my pity compliments? What?
Okay, like, no offense, but I just think it's really weird when people who've, like, been through trauma just milk it and then, like, write a book or make a documentary. Like, you know, we get it, it's sad, you survived 9/11 or whatever. But especially with this Gypsy Rose Blanchard situation, like, just because something terrible happened to you doesn't mean that now the world owes you a career. Like, especially on social media. Isn't this just, like, literally exploiting your own trauma? She's posting like outfits of the day and just content that isn't really good, but y'all are hyping her up because you feel bad for her. And eventually, y'all will turn on her, okay? And you will start calling her cringe. Mark my freaking words. You're gonna call me so mean right now, but come back in the comment section a few weeks later and tell me that I'm wrong. I don't know. It's just giving like, I need attention, you know?
Phase 6, the backlash to the backlash.
Okay, so let me get this straight. Y'all will watch whole true crime podcasts and full-on mukbangs where someone is eating a seafood boil, talking about how a woman was brutally... These people are slurping down lobster meat, sauce dripping down the sides of their greasy face as they recount this woman's horrifying last moments. But if a woman happens to survive this ordeal and is like, okay, let me try to actually monetize that trauma, maybe make a new career out of it, I don't know. All of a sudden, y'all want to grow a moral conscience and start talking about how, is this ethical? Isn't this just self-exploitation? Shut the f up. When countless people made content about Gypsy Rose's life story, made money off of her trauma, crickets. You all stayed silent then, but now you want to say something. Okay. The internet will make the most mediocre ass people famous for nothing. All right? Stop acting like having a social media following is something that you had to like break your back and have some sort of once-in-a-generation talent to earn. You're just hot and you got lucky in the algorithm, okay? Stop acting like you're Viola Davis. The media refuses to leave her alone anyway, and not to mention, y'all are the ones who were begging her to start posting. She gave you what you asked for. Let her make her little videos. Who is she hurting? Oh my god, y'all piss me the f off.
Phase 7, all hell breaks loose.
I mean, what you are seeing with this story is the normalizing of matricide.
Oh, come on.
Okay, you have mentally unwell people dressing up as Gypsy Rose for Halloween, celebrating her release from jail. All of them saying, you know, Dee Dee, that swollen tick, had it coming.
She did.
Listen, I'm not saying that what the mother did was appropriate, okay? I'm just saying that ending her life was not Gypsy's right.
Well, I'm sorry that a lifelong victim of abuse snapped and acted in a manner that you personally don't deem to be acceptable.
Okay, well, it's not just me that deemed this behavior unacceptable, okay? It was the state of Missouri and the Lord.
Okay, don't drag God into this.
Well, I know how you heathens quiver in your boots every single time I mention our good Lord's name.
Oh, please. Your God is Ashley Homegoods.
You know what? There are details about this case that I don't think the public is aware of.
Okay, here we go.
So if you want to know the truth, visit GypsyRoseExposed.com.
Okay, you're going to hell for that one. Phase 8, The calm after the storm. One of the perks of the internet having no attention span is that eventually a new story will break and the public will move on. Blanchard will release her tell-all memoir or documentary, probably both. She will go back to a life of relative normalcy. Perhaps the pair will reproduce, and her complicated journey of motherhood will be featured in the book or documentary, emphasizing how this time she'll do motherhood right. All will be well. Anyway, how do you think this saga, if it turns out to be one, will unfold? Do you have any controversial hot takes regarding this subject? Let me know in the comment section down below, especially if they're problematic. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you know every single time that I upload. I have to say that now. This is my job. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you to all of my top patrons. You are the reason I can afford food to nibble on as I rewatch 30 Rock for the 10th time. Thank you to my other lovely patrons. Your names should be scrolling on screen as I speak. Bye.